Hey, everybody, what is going on? CerealOverdirve here. We had a little bit of a misstep with the stream, but we are back. Hopefully now you're going to be getting audio, you're going to be getting everything, and hopefully, yeah, we're ready to rock and roll with this. So if there's anyone listening, let me know how it sounds. Let me know if you can hear the in-game audio, because basically what happened is I started streaming, we got about 5 minutes in, and couldn't hear gunshots, which it's not the end of the world, but, you know, try to do what I can to make it a good stream. So hopefully we are going to be able to hear gunshots now. So let's go ahead and start the hunt, or at least continue the hunt, I guess is what I should say. We did not go out with much ammo. I didn't really refill anything, so we've only got we started with about 75 PEDs worth of ammo. So that's where all this loot is coming from. And there is some crafting loot in there because I've been just AFK crafting a bit. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But let me just turn on the volume on my. Okay, so that's not what we want. I can hear my. Yeah, that's not what we want. But let me listen to the game when I start shooting. Yep. So it sounds like we're good. It sounds like we've got the auto working and everything like that. So let's just start playing some Entropia Universe and let's see what happens. I used to be like a little bit more of the streaming person, so it's been a while, but hopefully what we're going to be able to do is turn this into a bit of a YouTube video along with a nice little Twitch video. Also, let me change the chat box so it doesn't just keep showing everything. So we'll delay the messages. They show for about 46 seconds. So that way everybody's got enough time to read the messages, but they're just not constantly popping up, because I think that will get annoying. But yeah, I think right now we've got only 2 people watching, but if any of the 2 people watching, one of them's me, by the way, if any of the 2 people watching have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask them. I did push out on the Discord that I was doing this, but it was last minute, and honestly right now it's like 6 a.m. So my guess is there's not going to be too many people, but I thought it would be a good thing to do. I thought it's been a while since I've done any sort of Twitch videos, Entropia Twitch videos, so I thought this would be fun. Oh, adverts. Hey. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I do appreciate it. Hopefully everything's working now. So we do have, you know, it seems like we've got messages showing up. We've got the viewer count showing up on the screen, and I think you can hear gunshots. So that means everything's good. We got that background music, and the background music, for those of you wondering, it is stream beats, which you should be able to stream without any sort of copyright issues. So yeah, we're just going to be doing a little bit of mayhem, seeing if we can't get some good loot. And right now we're doing pretty decent. We've got 2 13 PD loots. One was in that last stream, like the last 5-minute stream, and one I just got right now, which is actually pretty exciting because it shows you that the loot right now is pretty decent. I know I've heard a lot of people saying that Mayhem, if you're not going for any sort of prize, if you're not going for time to kill or anything like that, you're willing to just sort of sit back and play it with a pretty eco-ish setup, you can do decent as far as loot goes. So I'm hoping that's going to hold true for me. We're looking to make probably about over 85 to 100 PBs. That's going to be roughly where that break-even point is hit. But yeah, let's just go. Let's play. I'm probably going to do this for about an hour, and then I'll call it, because I do want to work on a few other videos before I've got to start working, like working. Because yeah, it's not quite what I used to do for Entropia Universe. My Entropia Universe content was very like spur of the moment. I could just sit down, start talking, go with it. Now with Rust, I'm trying to do more of this edited style, and I don't know if it's working, but seems okay. All right, what armor am I using? I'm using Ghost with Gremlin foot guards. The reason I'm using Gremlin foot guards is because I am very stubborn-headed, I guess. So I bought the armor before foot guards were a thing, and because of that, I didn't want to pay extra for foot guards. So I bought Gremlin set. I bought a Gremlin set after I happened to buy after foot guards came out, and I've just used Gremlin foot guards instead. So yeah, I'm using Gremlin foot guards, but I don't actually have a good reason for doing it. It's just because I'm stubborn. I like them though. They seem to do the job, and these mobs are decently easy to kill, it seems like, so I'm not too worried about dying. If they get a crit hit or I get a few of them attacking me, might not be the case, but yeah, so far so good, I'd say. Ooh, we've got another Mayhem token. I don't know how often those things are supposed to drop, but that's like 2 that we've got. And I should move all this down. So this is like crafting loot. I don't want to include this in the main loot if anyone's caring about that. But you can see we've already got 68 PDs of shrapnel. We definitely haven't spent that much. Oh yeah, ghost foot guards are way cheap now. Like I looked into buying them way back in the day when when they first came out and the prices were just ridiculous. And then I just never looked at it again because I'm like, no, I'm going to be stubborn. I'm going to use Gremlin. And I've held that stance for 10 years now. That is ridiculous. That's extremely ridiculous of me. That is, I don't know why I did that. I shouldn't do it, but I did it. 7 people, man. Thank you for jumping in, folks. I do appreciate it. If anyone has questions, comments, anything like that, leave them down below. It's been a while since I've done streaming, so if I'm a little bit rusty or I say something off, if I say something that's wrong, like, don't ban me, Twitch. No, Twitch will ban me, but I wouldn't even notice. Honestly, Twitch could have given me a 1-year ban. I wouldn't have noticed. I haven't tried to stream in the last year, so I'm not going to say anything crazy. I'm not going to get banned, but in case it happens, I just want everybody to know that I'm okay with it. Yeah, I should buy ghost foot guards again, though. It's been a while since I've looked at the price, but I'm sure they've gone down. What are the price on the gremlin foot guards? I don't know exactly what I paid for them, but I'm sure it's going to be like super low. Yeah, super low. How long has it been since you played Entropia last? You got to keep logging in, though, just to make sure they don't delete your account. Because that's always a worry for me. Like, even if I'm taking like a hiatus from Entropia Universe, I'll still log in every now and then just to see what deeds have paid out and everything like that. Look at this. Time left, 5 hours. And Mondarch's acting like I'm going to hit that time. We know I'm not. Yeah, Entropia is one of those games, like, I like the fact that it's not a subscription game or anything like that, so you can always come back to it, which is cool. Because there's so many games, like MMOs especially, where you got to pay the subscription fee, and if you don't, then your account goes inactive, and they might delete it, or like, I don't know. Like, Entropia is a nice game because you're just always, your character's always there. You can log in once a month if you want. You can play very casually. If this was a game like World of Warcraft, I probably never would have come back to it, just because of that subscription fees. Marcus, yeah, I think Marcus AS. What am I playing nowadays? Mostly Rust. Well, all right, that's a lie. That's a lie. I shouldn't be lying. So recently, I've been, like, the last couple days, I've been going off the rails with Modern Warfare, just Call of Duty, because I needed something I could jump in and out of, because I've got, you know, I've got to take care of the kids and all that. So it's like, I don't have a lot of time that I can sit down and play. That's one of the reasons that I'm like early morning. I know I have the time because everybody's still asleep. But yeah, recently it's been Rust and Modern Warfare and a little bit of Entropia Universe here and there. So I've done a few crafting runs and stuff like that. Stuff where I can, like, crafting Entropia Universe I can just keep doing because I can just leave that going in the background. I can convince myself, like, mentally that I'm still playing video games, when in reality I'm, like, doing the dishes downstairs or sweeping or doing something, like, really lame. But yeah. Most of my time is mainly focused on Rust or Call of Duty, and we're talking maybe like 1 to 2 hours a day, if we're being honest here. Because, you know, and that time also is taken up by videos, or video editing and everything like that. Exactly. Just craft episode. Yeah, exactly. Craft explosives in the background. So do I do long Rust and Entropia Universe videos? How long are we talking? So I don't do stories. One of the reasons I don't do the stories is just because my gameplay probably isn't good enough, in my opinion. And in addition to that, like, it takes a lot to get those stories. I've done a few. So if you go through my channel, you'll see some Rust stories and stuff like that. Stuff that might be like 10 to 20 minutes long. I don't do crazy long content or anything like this. If you're looking for more stream of consciousness stuff, that is not super common in Rust. I do it every now and then, but mostly my Entropia Universe videos are more like it. That's why I'm playing Entropia Universe here. It's a game that I'm very familiar with, just streaming, talking, and sort of doing my own thing while the game plays in the background. Like, that's one thing I love about Entropia Universe. It's such a nice, like, passive game that you can play. Like, I can be sitting here doing something else and have the game play in the background, and every now and then you look over and you're like, oh, something cool happened. Even with this, like, every now and then I've got to switch hotkeys so that I can go and, like, heal, but even that, it's like fairly low risk, which is very nice. So many video games nowadays just get so sweaty for me, and I'm not sure if it's because my attitude's changed or the community's changed or maybe both. But even like Call of Duty, it used to be this game that I could like sit down, drink a few beers, play, and now it feels like anytime I sit down, I've got to be like super focused, otherwise people are just going to destroy me. Because recently I've been trying, so I decided to like, I always end up playing ranked just because I want to see how good I am. I'm about like silver, gold, for those of you wondering. But every now and then I like to just jump in with these ridiculous guns in Call of Duty, like the biggest, like the smallest sniper rifle I can get, or something that just like looks ridiculous. And teammates actually get very upset when I do that. They're just like, what are you doing? It's like, you haven't even seen me shoot this. Maybe I'm the best player in the world with it. I mean, I probably am because nobody else is using it, but like, maybe I'm really good. But yeah, now I always feel like I've got to focus. And in Entropia Universe, I can just sort of sit back and relax, which I like about it. Oh, like hour-long Rust videos. So yeah, like I don't do the story videos just because those take a lot of time to do. So like when I try and edit like one of those like hour, so if I'm doing like an hour-long video, it would probably be like 20 hours of footage, I guess. So I don't even know if I had to have the time to record it, but just to edit those down takes a long time. So yeah, I don't do anything like that. You'll get a few like maybe hour-long videos where I'm doing something like this, where I'm just playing the game and talking, but that's about as close as you'll get. Look at that, we converted 89 PDs of shrapnel, which means we're definitely in the profits. That's great. Recently, I guess I am going to have about an hour-long Rust Iceberg video coming out at some point. So I've been doing Rust Iceberg, which is just like, it's right now I'm on part 4, so I'm working on editing that. I just released part 3, and that's just going into some of like the lesser known things in Rust, right? Like, you know, fire extinguishers that they wanted to add. You've got the XP system, blood bags, robots. So if you're familiar with Rust, you'll know that none of these things exist in the game. But like at one point there was talk about adding them, and you know, the last level we're going to go into the accident, which is sort of, it's a funny thing that happened. We're going into some like illegal skins. We're going into the nuclear event, and just some crazy stuff like that, right? So those videos on their own, like part 1, 2, 3, and 4, are each different levels. And those are probably 10 to 15 minutes of video. In the end, probably once I've released all 4 of them, I'm going to just combine them all to make one massive, long Rust Iceberg video that's about an hour long. And we'll see how it does. Honestly, those videos haven't done that great, but I like doing them. It's very interesting. I do like to edit a bit. So for me, it's interesting. But yeah. Nothing too crazy, I guess. It's not what most people are looking for. I know the story videos are big. Yeah, you probably know me for Entropia, but yeah, so Rust, I play the console version, Rust mainly. So when that game launched, I was actually one of the biggest creators for it. Not to be like, there's bigger creators now, and there were bigger creators at the time, but when it launched, I had a huge jump in growth, and at the time, I was putting out like a video a day because I knew I needed to do that just to keep everything going, and I was getting maybe like 50 to 100,000 views a video. So that's why I stuck with the console, even though I've got this I've got a pretty decent computer, pretty beastly computer, I'd say. 15 PD is not bad. I've got a pretty decent computer nowadays, like 3080, you know, i9. I don't know, some liquid cooling on the CPU, and AIO, I guess is what you call it, and it's got an LED on the front. It's a pretty cool looking computer in my opinion, but I've got that so I can run the PC version of Rust just fine, no lag or anything like that, but I still try and do the console just because that's what I get a lot of views for. But we're diving into PC content too here and there. Maybe I'll do a story. It just depends if I get the time, because yeah, right now, so like, I've got kids, and you know, you gotta focus on the family first, of course. But like, yeah, right now I just wouldn't have the time to jump into any sort of crazy video edit and keep up with the channel and everything like that. You're too old. You might be my age. You never know. I'm decently old too. But yeah, it does get too competitive. I've been into it long enough that I know how to build some decent bases, and luckily those bases are generally enough to keep people from raiding me early game. And if I'm being completely honest, I sort of like the bow fighting the best in the game. Once you get into these like crazy guns, what happens is you can just get blown away by any like 4-player like, you know, squad that you run across, unless you're really good. And I'm not that. I don't have recoil down or anything like that. But when it comes to bow fighting, I can sometimes pull off like a 1v2 and be successful, or I've done a 1v3, and you know, I'm like, oh, ooh, 14 PD is not bad. But yeah, like you get out of those, and there's like there is like an adrenaline dump that you get from that, and you feel good about yourself, right? But once I get past that level, I just end up getting blown away usually, because it's just you're outnumbered, and you know, unless you're really good, it's hard to do. I've got a decent game sense, I think. I just don't have the time to dump into the game. But yeah, like if you're watching, so I'm guessing if you're watching stories, you're probably talking about like Blueprint, Frost, Waylon, all those people. Because I do love watching their videos. I wish I could do something like it. I just don't have the, I don't have the skill. I don't have the time. Yeah, I don't have the skill and I don't have the time, which are pretty much like the two things that you need to do it. Like, I think I could edit the videos decently. I think I could get that part down. It would take me a few tries, but I think I could get that down decently. But skill and time, those are two very important components. Another thing too, when you're doing stuff like that, like the bigger you get, the more you're competing with people who are almost making it at their job, and that gets hard too. Ooh, God, you got shot through a wall. Yeah, I mean, that's the other problem with Rust, to be honest. It has a huge cheating problem. Is the chat showing up in the... I don't know if chat's actually showing up in the thing anymore. I keep an eye on that. Because if the chat isn't showing up, then I'll probably need to change this back so it's just always present or something. I'm not sure if it's just I haven't been watching or not, but yeah. Yeah, honestly, any of these games, it gets hard because right now it feels like... Okay, I can see it. So right now it feels like what happens is like people just like, they'll main a game and they'll get like crazy good at it. That's the thing. Like I guess I've got ADD. Like I don't admit it, but I do. I sort of admit it now, but I just jump all over the place, right? Like I'll be playing Entropia Universe, I'll be playing Rust, I'll be playing Call of Duty, I'll jump into like the Harry Potter game here or there. And let's see, I heard something, but I don't know where I can see what just happened. Oopsies. Let's see, oh, thanks for the follow, I appreciate that, Miller. But yeah, like I'll be jumping all over the place, right? And like jumping into this game, that game, everything like that. And the problem is nowadays, so many people will just have this like laser focus. It's like, I am playing this game. This is my thing. I live and breathe it. Like they know everything about it. And that's just, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's too many good games out there for me to play. So yeah, I'm not competitive in any of these games. Like Call of Duty, I got a little obsessed over the last couple days. I did manage to get to that like silver and gold rank. I like touched gold. I say I got there. I didn't get there. I got very lucky, and now I'm back to like mid-range gold or mid-range silver, which I'm told is not that good. You know, it's like when I start playing chess, I get my elo over like 1.2 thousand. I'm like, I did it. And then someone's like 1.6 as a beginner, and it's like, oh no, I didn't do it. I didn't do it at all. Ooh, Star Citizen. I've played that. It's been a while since I've played that, but honestly, now that I've got this computer, I want to get back into it. I need to download it. I need the time, but like I see Star Citizen in my future, if we're being completely honest here, because that game I like too. That's the thing too. If you go to my channel, there's videos on everything. Like I've done Star Citizen guides, I've done Warframe guides, Rust guides, Entropia Universe guides. Any game I touch, anytime I get confused, I just make guides on it. If I see some traction, maybe I'll try and do a few Let's Plays or something like that and see where it goes, right? That's what happened with the console edition of Rust. I was doing guides for Rust. Because it used to be I was doing Entropia Universe. So I just do Entropia Universe Let's Plays, like what we're doing right now. We just talk, sit, chill, whatever. I do Warframe guides and then I do Rust guides. I was just going through that. And then I saw Rust was coming out on the console. I did a few videos on that. I saw a little bit of traction there. Like I made one news video that got like 30,000 views, which is crazy. So I'm like, all right, like when it comes out, I'll just buy it for my Xbox One. So I bought it, and like first video I dropped about like the game coming out got like, I don't know, it was like 50,000 views. And then the next one got like 70,000 views. And then it was like, I hit 100,000 and I had an Xbox One, the game's lagging, it was doing horrible. And then, you know, you see the AdSense money, and that's like, I think we're talking like it actually for 1 month eclipsed, or no, it almost eclipsed what I was making at my real job. 1 month by YouTube. And when I saw that, I'm like, no, we're investing. So I just went out, got like the first Xbox I could get, like the new one, which was the series, and started playing that. But then I made that because Rust is one of those games I can really get drawn into. And when you're making like 50, 60, you know, $100 a video, and some of the videos that pop off might be doing $200-300, it's a lot easier for me to justify just playing a game a lot. So that's what I did. And now we're back to just the normal sort of YouTube schedule. You know, I like YouTube, but I don't like it to the extent where I do it as much as I was doing it when I'm doing a video every day. But I guess because I'm older, I understand how rare it is to get the opportunity to be in front of such a large audience. So I wanted to take full advantage of it. It's sort of like when I was, I've had my Twitch not blow up, but I've had like do really good ones. And that was Entropia Universe when XQC mentioned it. So he said something about Entropia Universe. Bunch of people jumped over, and it was like, I think we had like 300 or 400 viewers at one point. Which was crazy. So, you know, when that happens, you go the extra hour or two because you just want to keep that momentum going. Thanks for watching the playlist. I appreciate that. Yeah, so the mic quality, that's because I've been upgrading mics. Like those videos go back to like 2012, maybe 2011, 2013. I'm not sure how deep that playlist goes, but you can go way back. When you're talking about that was like, I started off, I was just going off the laptop mic, and then after a while, like I hadn't made any money off YouTube or anything, but I wanted a better mic, so I got that Blue Snowball, and I used that for the longest time. And then I upgraded to a different mic. Did I upgrade? I have a few different mics, but I upgraded to one mic. It only lasted a little bit, and then yeah, eventually I jumped over to this thing. So right now I'm hoping that the mic quality is pretty good, because this is like an XLR mic. It's got the Go XLR. It's got all the cool little features. I can even got like let me see, I'm gonna use the bleep button. I don't know if that played or not. For some reason I don't have the, I hooked the sound up incorrectly because I don't want chords going over my keyboard, but you should have heard a bleep. Maybe you didn't. But yeah, basically like now I've got like the full, I guess, streamer or like YouTuber setup. So hopefully the audio is pretty good. Every now and then something will go wrong. And I also have another mic that I use for just another channel that I'm playing around with. That channel's got like no viewers or anything like that. I just like editing the videos and all that. But like I've got another mic that's a little bit more mobile that I can use if I'm traveling and wanted to do a video. But yeah, I know like recently someone was like, "Do you actually have like a full YouTuber setup?" Because I don't tell people that I do CerealOverdirve or anything like that in real life. And it was just like, friend was over and they're like, "Man, why do you have all this stuff?" I'm like, "I don't know, just for meetings." And they're like, "Yeah, you went a little overboard on this. This is like a legit setup that you got." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." But yeah, I guess I'm the opposite of one of those people who like chases clout. I'm just like, I don't want to be associated with that. Oh, different date order. Yeah. Some of those videos were rough. Some of them are pretty good, but some of them are pretty rough. It is cool to look back on. Like, I've got to be honest, I'll do it too sometimes. Even the way that I talk, it's interesting to see it change, because that's not one of those things that I'd realized. And I'll see that in videos too, but like if you listen to me when I first started versus now, it's a completely different talking style. And like it used to be so like deadpan, so just like monotone, and now it's like you can hear a little bit more emotion in my voice. I'm not amazing, and now I'm overplaying it because I'm thinking about it, but like you hear a little bit more like inflections and stuff like that, and it's interesting to see. Like that's one of the things that would probably be the worst thing about having like a YouTube channel banned or anything like that. It's cool that there's just so much content out there, and you can see yourself actually change in ways that you wouldn't even realize, right? Like even my accent's changed, which is interesting to me. Like my accent now versus what it was 10 years ago is completely different. Also like the vernacular, like the words that I use, it's very interesting. I mean, there's some obvious ones that I'd like get canceled for even like mentioning right now, but like there's words that 10 years ago everybody was using that nowadays are like horrific to use. And especially like if you think about the way we used to do, like avoiding all the like homophobic stuff, right? Because you know I 100% get all that, but like avoiding all of that, even the way like you just describe like how something happened to you, you'd be like, oh man, they just did this or that to me. Like the way people say that now is very different from how it used to be. Oh wow, we've already what did we burn through? Probably our amp, I'm guessing. The gun, the amp. All right, let's pull out this gun real quick. But oh, let's equip this. Let's finish. Oh, I see what's happening. There we go. Let's finish this off. But yeah, it's interesting to see the change. That's one of the things I do really appreciate, I think, about YouTube in general, just being able to see the way that I've changed, even my thought process, because I can vaguely remember like how I thought when I was younger, but it is interesting. Ooh, 50 PDs. All right, so I guess now it's 125 PD hunt that we're doing. Let's equip that and let's go. But yeah, if you're going back through all the old videos, there's some good stuff in there. There's some interesting stuff. I don't know how well it holds up, to be honest, because a lot of the stuff I talk about might be like politics or what's going on in the world, and I don't know, 10 years later, 5 years later, however long ago it was, like, is it still relevant? I mean, a lot of the stuff I probably got wrong. Like I think I had a video when I was talking about like when COVID first happened. I was talking about it. I'm like, oh, this could be bad or something like that. And like, I might have said it was nothing. I don't know. But like, if you go back to some of those videos, like just wildly wrong. It's interesting. But yeah, I'm surprised like 10 people jumped in right away just to watch. I appreciate it. Even if you're not talking, I do appreciate that. If you're talking though, if you're in the chat, like that's awesome too, because that's the cool thing about having like a small group of people watching. If you want to ask me questions, you can. You don't remember anything too adverse. Yeah, like I'm not. The thing is, I was never one of those people that was like crazy like out there, I think. And I was older at the time too. Like I had a little bit more sense about me. I think if instead of starting YouTube in 2012, I'd started in like, I don't know, mid 2000s. Yeah, probably would have gotten some, I don't know, like if you watch South Park, that was actually interesting. So I went up to Vermont. I was staying in the mountains for a bit. Just not like some sort of Unabomber type thing. I was just, you know, a skiing type vacation. I don't know how to ski, but I just like the mountain vibes. So I'm staying up in the mountains, not doing Unabomber stuff. That's very important to specify, just because I already brought it up. So now I've got to make sure I really drive that point home. Was the Unabomber even in the mountain? I don't know. But no, like I'm up there, and it was like, oh man, I completely lost my train of thought. What was I talking about now? Hold on, I'm gonna come back to it. I was up in the mountains. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's nothing to do with the mountains actually. I was up in the mountains. I was watching TV. It's the first time in a long time that I ever watched like broadcast TV. South Park was on, and they had the motorcycle episode. I probably can't even say that word on Twitch, but yeah, we're not gonna say that word on Twitch because I'm pretty sure like one of the 10 people that are watching me, one of them's myself. I'm probably the one that would rap myself, but like it was now you think I was up to no good. I know, why would I go into the cold mountains when I can't ski? It doesn't make any sense. But no, I just wanted a chill vibe. You know, like the house had to do, like, there's some work going on, and I was like, all right, let's just get out of town for the weekend. And I'm like Boston based, so we're not talking. I didn't like fly out of state. I mean, I drove out of state, so which is even more suspicious. There's no documentation. I didn't use credit cards going up there, and I paid for everything in cash, of course. Nothing suspicious. No, but and now that I'm making myself look bad to make a point that has nothing to do with this. But anyways, the whole thing is I was watching TV, which I never do because I usually use Netflix, Prime, YouTube, whatever, right? Pay for the service, you don't ever see ads. But South Park was on, and they had the episode where they were talking about, they had the motorcycles, and they were calling them the F word, the FA word, not the FU word. I don't know which ones I think I can say FU on Twitch, but I can't say the FA word on Twitch. Y'all get where I'm at. But anyways, they had that episode on, and like they hadn't bleeped anything out. I was like, man, how do they allow this on TV? And then thinking back, like that was not an episode that stood out at all to me back in the day. And I'm like, man, times have really changed. That like I saw that and I'm like, how could they allow this? Like, it was interesting because I realized like how different things are from the way they used to be. And I think it's good. Like, you know, some of that language was not, it wasn't good. You know, I mean, I get why I think, yeah, no, actually I use my real phone. That's where I messed up. That's where the FBI gets you, right? Use your real phone, bring the family. It's like too many Instagram photos going out. That's why nothing nefarious happened, if we're being honest. Pulled everything off right up until I got there and logged into Pornhub, tweeted it out, and then it's like, oh man, you just blew it. Oh, man. A little bit of an innuendo there that I didn't mean to make. But no, like, it was just interesting to see how much things have changed. Because South Park, like, you can really tell, like, that used to be a show that you could just watch on television. That still is a show you can just watch on television. But if you look at the language being used back then, I don't know if they do that now in the new episodes or anything like that. Like, it is so different from the way we talk now. And that's good because there were a lot of, like, homophobic slurs and stuff like that, which back in the day, it was like, I'm not homophobic. Like, I used to live in, like, a very, like, I guess, like, in a different city, like, for an internship. I was in, like, what would be considered, like, the gay town area or whatever you'd call it. And, like, I was cool with that. I had no problem with that. Like, everybody was just, like, whoever they are, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're not affecting anybody. If you know, I don't care, right? Like, it's cool to me. But basically, like, it never, like, I was never homophobic or anything like that. But that just was, like, it was so common to use those words that I'd use them without thinking about it. Even people I knew who would be, like, gay or, like, super, like, you know, progressive, they'd still say any of those things just because that was just the norm back then. And I thought, like, well, what's so wrong about that? But I think with the internet, it almost had, like, these words had to almost become more, you have to be more careful using them. Because right now, like, someone just jumped into the stream, right? There's one person that just jumped into the conversation right now. If they hear me use one of those words, they don't know the context. They don't know who I am. They don't know the personality behind it. That might be all they get of me. And now they think, you know, hey, this dude's homophobic or he's racist or he's a bigot or whatever, right? And because they go away with that attitude now, because there's one more person in the world that they think believes these things, it makes it more acceptable for them to believe those things. And I think back in the day, it used to be that the people that were saying this stuff, you knew the context behind it, right? Like, I remember I went to college and there's like, you could tell, like, people would use a certain word and you'd be like, ooh, you're like one of those people who's like not doing this from a good place, because you know the context behind it. You'd see their actions that would, like, back up or not back up what was being said. But on the internet, you don't really have that. So I think that's why, like, a lot of these words became, like, cancelable now, just because that stuff didn't exist, I guess. Like, the internet didn't exist back then, so you had context behind everything, whereas now there's no context and things can just be clipped. What do you see? The Aftershock from South Park. Yeah, there's so much in South Park. All these shows, there's so much stuff that they did that you would never get away with. Eric and Randy. Oh man, I still love South Park. Let's be honest. Like, if I'm gonna go out and, like, it's been a while, but if I was gonna go, like, get some weed, get high or whatever, or even if I'm getting drunk, like, South Park is it's a great thing to just sit back and, like, relax to. I'm not sure if that's nostalgia, because sometimes there's some stuff like Entropia Universe, right? This is nostalgic for me. Like, I love playing the game just because I'm nostalgic. Like, it reminds me of a simpler time. Like, you know, I started playing this while I was living at home, like with my parents. And it was just like, oh yeah, you just get home from school, you got nothing to do for the day. Your friends aren't like hanging out. So you log into Entropia Universe, you get on IRC, you're just chatting with people. I've got The Office running in the background. This is a good time in my life. It was a simpler time in my life. And I like to sit and remember that, right? Like, I think everybody's like that. So I'm not sure if South Park is a nostalgic thing or if it actually holds up. I feel like it might be nostalgic. Because a lot of the time when I was watching South Park, I'd be high or drunk or both. So maybe that's why. But yeah, it's interesting how that stuff works. Not something I ever thought about until I got older. That I was like, oh, it's nostalgic. Is Randy really Lori? What do you think, chat? Oh, definitely Lori. Randy can be whoever he wants to be. And that is truth of Randy, Lordy. Oh, yeah. Randy, the character arcs that, like, I think the Lordy one, I haven't, like, I'm not fully caught up with that, but I do, like, that did trigger, like, a memory, and I'm like, I do remember that, like, vaguely, very vaguely. Probably because I was just talking about how I'd watch South Park, so I think that we've come full circle, and I've explained my vague memories of what this is referencing, but yeah, I mean, South Park, I think it had some good shit. I should check to make sure I'm still... Yeah. Just had to check the music real quick because I'm just playing like this stream beats thing. I wanted to make sure that I didn't accidentally go into the copyright stuff. Lordy. Is Lordy really that dated? We're gonna be royals. No, I'm not gonna sing because that would be horrible. I just did, but just for 2 seconds. That's all. Ooh, Easter Strongbox. I don't have any keys, but that's cool. Yeah, I remember Lordy. Like, good music, very chill vibe. I used to love that. Like Lordy, I think Lana Del Rey was before Lordy, but like, I don't know. I like those songs. Still listen to them every now and then. But yeah, that was. It's crazy how long ago some of this stuff was. Like, even Avicii. Like, you know, I mean, rest in peace. But man, like, I still hear the songs, and a lot of that stuff still seems like, I'm like, yeah, that came out recently. And it's like, nah, that was like 5 years ago. Or sometimes it feels like it was long ago and it wasn't. It's weird. It's weird. Like, sometimes, like, it's like high school feels like it happened, like, yesterday. And sometimes it feels like it happened to a different person. And I have no idea why. It's very, very scary to me. I know everybody always says like, oh yeah, time flies. But to me, it's like sometimes it flies. And sometimes like I'm thinking about things that would happen like right at the same time. And like feels like one of them was like a whole different person forever ago. And one of them happened yesterday. It's interesting. I don't know how old everybody is or if anyone cares about this nostalgic junk. But yeah, it's interesting to me. All that music though. That era, I guess I liked it most because that was probably when I was going out clubbing and like going to bars, and it was always like blasting and a lot of good memories associated with it. Nowadays, all the new stuff, it's either like stuff I'll play in the shower when I'm waking up and trying to get into a good mood because work's depressing, or I'm listening to it during work because work's depressing. So yeah, that's how stuff goes, I guess. Every now and then there'll be like a song that drops when I'm on vacation. Ooh, another Strongbox. If a song drops when I'm on vacation, I'm listening to it then, like just driving down the road. It's like, boom, that thing's just been like locked down as like a core memory, and I love that song. And then like the same song could have dropped when I was at work, and that's like a sign of oppression or something. I don't know. I take a lot of vacations though, so luckily I still have a lot of songs that are very core memory for me. Let's heal up a little bit here. Oh. Actually, the loot has not been bad, I've got to say. Got 2 strong boxes. What are these things going for? 999 whatever percent. Okay, that doesn't help me. 76 PDs though. Shrapnel, that's not bad. Lurk. Yeah, hey, if people want to lurk and just listen to me talk, that's fine. I've done YouTube videos for long enough that I know how to talk to myself. And, you know, schizophrenic. Nah, not schizophrenic. At least that's what the voices in my head tell me. Let's see. Let's detach all these attachments. Let's equip this. I'm just going to drop the A203 on it. I had a bunch of lasers and stuff on my guns just because I wanted to see. I just wanted to wear them down, to be honest. Like, I wanted to see if they affected loot. So now we've taken the lasers, we've taken the scopes off. Let's see if the loot gets better or worse. It's a nice little test there. I probably shouldn't even have it on, but it is what it is. I actually had a decent amount of craft. I did some crafting last night. I had decent luck with that. So I spent like to say maybe like 5 PDs crafting textures. I managed to get these 4 blueprints. Right, we've got this fine freeze fabric texture blueprint. Got a nice copper texture and a canvas, and then we've got this denim. I was pretty impressed with those drops. I didn't expect it. Need to switch my hotkeys, but I'm too lazy. It's just no. Let's do all that. The other one I got, so I did a little bit of component crafting. I managed to score this one, explosive projectiles recycle 1 blueprint. We got 8 attempts. This is a 45 PED blueprint for explosive projectiles. So I thought that was pretty sick. Oops. All right, let's do a little bit of refining here. We got 84 PDs, so we are running in the negative now. We need a big hit. But yeah, that explosives, I think the explosives recycling, I haven't ever run any of those blueprints. I usually end up selling them, but I might give it a go this time. I think you usually get TT back, right? It's just to get a lot of skills. Isn't that the deal? Like, you're just crafting a huge amount so you get skills from that? I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody knows that, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll just keep hunting. Let's see how are the skills, by the way. Ooh, not bad. I've gotten almost 100 skill points. Not to mention, I've still got those Codex missions I've got to get skills for. So we're probably talking over 100 skill points on this. Not bad there, 6 PDs. It's cool. Like, I don't play often enough. My professions are still pretty low. This always surprises people. Like, let's check this out. I'm only a level 37 laser sniper. Engineering, mechanical engineering is my highest, and that's a 7. Prospecting, I'm a 20. Same with surveying. And then all these skills are just sort of junk skills I don't really have anything in. Except for gunner, which is just because I've also, hunted. But yeah, like, my skill levels are super low, and that's just because I've never... I guess when I played, we had the exponential curve was a little bit different. So the way Entropia used to work was it was a lot harder to get skills, and there was an exponential curve. So I think once you got to like you could never get to 100. Right now it's been moved away a little bit. The curve sort of disappeared so players can skill up faster. Also, you've got things like skill pills, which I really should have used. I didn't. I do not know why. Stupid of me. I think do I have it? The New Year's champagne. I should always have a skill pill on me, but I don't. I might actually run to the... Oops, I did it again. What I might do after we kill this one is I might run to the thing and try and get a skill pill out of my storage. You guys can see the mess that is my storage. Once upon a time, I had the storage all ordered, so you could go in there and everything was like super nice. Then there was an update, it reset everything. So I don't have access to storage here, do I? Mind Arc, you should fix that. But yeah, like, once upon a time, it was super like nicely organized. Update happened and went to shit, right? So I did everything again, and then like a month later, there was another update, and it taken me like hours to organize the storage. At that point, I gave up, and I've never gone back and organized it. It's just a complete mess. I've got 500 items, a little over 500 items in there. There's some I can't even see. So yeah, it's not great. One day I'll fix it, but it'll be a while. It'll be a while. Not bad though. Actually, I'm surprised. I'm impressed that 8 people managed to jump in. It's been so long since I've streamed. It's good to be back though. I like this like little back and forth that we're having, talking. Like sometimes that's the thing. Like sometimes when I go to just do a video on my own, like I've got to come in with the topics. I've got to have everything sort of planned ahead of time. I've got to know where I'm going to be going. A captain profession. That's cool. Got to know where I'm going, and then somehow like just let your sort of thoughts take you somewhere else if you can. But with this, it's nice because every now and then someone can interject, ask a question, say this or that, and then like you sort of go off on your little tangent here, which is cool to see. And I've actually managed to set this up decently. Hey man, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate it. It's always good to talk to people who've been longtime followers and, you know, stayed active enough that when I do stream on Twitch once a year, they see the notification. So I appreciate you talking with me. Appreciate you sticking around. Have a good day. I assume day. I don't know where you're based out of, so maybe it's night for you, but have a good one. Ooh, we got that skill boost anyways. What do we have here? 40%. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'll take it. That's another thing, like skill boosts and stuff like that didn't exist when I used to play. You got to remember, I started Entropia Universe like right before SIB became a thing. Warlock unit has arrived. Should I try to do the Warlock unit? I don't even know if I can. I think I can. I'm going to believe in myself and I'm going to do it. I did not prepare for this whatsoever. I should have had someone like Lore Spade help me out and like tell me what I needed to do. Let's see how bad this thing hits. Fingers crossed here, folks. Fingers are crossed. This is a big one. Keeps missing, so that is good to see. That is good to see. Oh, my armor deflected it. Bing bang boom, folks. CerealOverdirve. I've got this. I didn't think I'd be able to just like tank it, but I guess I can. I could just sit here and get skills from it all day. Getting that dodge, getting that. I don't know if you're getting dodge or. Okay, so the Warlock's pretty easy. It's just an ammo sink, I guess. Let's look. When you look at how big this thing is, I feel like it's got to give me something good as far as loot goes. Let's get some cool shots here. Cool shot time. There you go. I hope there's not a turret. If I walked it into a turret, I would be so upset with myself. That happens. That happened. So recently I was doing an experiment with healing and how it gives your loot back. So I was thinking, if you can get damaged by a mob and then the loot is given back to you when that mob dies, or if the loot's given back to you with your next kill. So the idea was I'd heal myself up like 10, 20 PDs and then go kill a mob that would global off that amount and see if I could get a global off of it. It didn't work, by the way, but with that, it was very annoying because once I did it, I got it up to 20, 30 PDs of healing off the healing device, the FAP, ran the mob into the turret, got everything back, or 70 or 80% of it back. And I was like, oh, so much time wasted on that. I'm hoping this is going to be big. That's why I'm holding off looting. Let's just do it. Easter Strongbox Mayhem token, 24 PDs of shrapnel. Not bad, not bad. That's like a, man, I don't know, 30 PDs of loot. I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, so I did the healing experiment to see if basically you could force a mob to global. And the idea was you'd heal off of the mob. It has to be. So the thing is, you could do this on a mob, right? Like you could do this on a Snabble Snot. Let it kill you, heal yourself up, and then kill it, get an automatic global. My hope was that I could do it and get like a Chirpy to global. One of those mobs that like runs away from you, because I knew that was like a definitive proof that the loot would transfer to the next, the global, not the global, but the healing value, the PDs that you spent healing would transfer to the next mob that you killed. That's not how it works though. It stays on the mob that was doing the damage to you. So you're going to get I got the PDs back when that mob did eventually die. It took about a day for someone to kill it, but unfortunately, it did not transfer to the Chirpy that I killed, and I didn't get a Chirpy global. Because I thought that would be cool to just get like a string of Chirpy globals and then be like, guess what I did? I did a thing. And then I could make a video on it. Unfortunately, I didn't do a thing, so I'm just throwing it out there in a live stream that I'm probably going to eventually move to YouTube. And I might not. So I've got a second channel that I really haven't posted any videos to. It's called just CerealOverdirve. Instead of the blue icon, it's a yellow icon. I put it out. I originally wanted to do a video with how I was building my computer and do reviews of the parts. But I didn't end up doing that because it turns out it takes a lot of time to do videos like that. I just didn't have the time. How do I... What is... Oh, man. I completely forgot how to edit the keys. Icon trash can. That's not what I would need. Oh, there we go. It's like one of those things, like, I vaguely remembered how to do it, but I've just got to, like, stop focusing on trying to do it and then just let your, like, hands just hit the button that they know it works for. I don't know, the muscle memory. Once the muscle memory kicks in, it's just like bing, bang, boom. I can hit keys and they do the thing I want it to do. But if I think about it, I can't do it. Anyways, though. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I'm not sure. What I might do, depending on how... So the way YouTube works, I guess... despite my channel not being that great, because I just do whatever, I'm actually like, I work in a field where I can figure out how the algorithm likely works. And it seems like what it does is initially it will put your videos into categories, right? Or your channel into a category, right? So your channel might be classified as like Rust, might be classified as like an Entropia Universe channel, might be classified as a travel channel. If you deviate from that and post another video that is not based on that like thing that you're in, it's gonna be shown to all the people in that category anyways, right? So if you're a travel channel and you post a video game video, YouTube shows the video to people who like travel. And those people probably aren't going to like video games, so maybe they don't click into it. You get a really low click-through rate, and YouTube stops recommending your video, okay? You can get back to the recommended algorithm if your views bump up, or if it sort of categorizes things, but that doesn't seem to happen a lot. Basically, what we call that is like a re-ingestion. And for YouTube to re-ingest all their videos would take forever, so it's something that they probably rarely do. What they do, however, though, is search is done a little bit differently. And that's recommended based on someone's search terms. So even if your video fails in recommended, you could get a nice little boost in search, okay? I don't know if this is too geeky, but we're going into it. So if you're going into search, so if you want to make a how-to guide, you can do that for any type of video that you want. Any type of video that you want, you can make a how-to guide. You put it out there. The search is what's going to carry it, right? It'll be recommended. It'll get a really low click-through rate. All of that, it'll be dropped down in the search. But eventually enough people are going to see it, and if you've got a good thumbnail, got a good video, people will watch it. You'll get some decent percentages there, and they'll boost it up in the search ranking, and eventually that video is going to just start going. If you look at my channel, I've got a Minecraft video that I posted a while ago. Initially, because it was a Minecraft guide, it got no views, like literally like dead on arrival. I think if you look in the comments, there's someone calling me like a failure because they're like, what did you do, Cereal? This is a horrible video. Why would you bother? Now, if you look at that video, it's like a 10K, 20K view video, which is pretty good. The reason for that, the search algorithm took it, pushed it up. Hasn't been recommended to anybody because that's not the type of video that would get recommended. So if I do something like this, right, it'll eventually get pushed to the Entropia Universe people because there's not that much content. But it sort of knocks my channel down a point as far as Rust views go, if that makes sense. Like the Rust relevancy ranking goes for my channel. Ooh, 250 points gained. Nice. So when that gets knocked down, basically that means that the next Rust video I do won't get as much traction. You can do this. You can deviate a little bit here and there, but the idea behind just CerealOverdirve is I can just sort of throw this stuff out there and it won't affect my channel. I'm still not sure if I'll do it or not. We'll see. But yeah, that's one of the reasons you see me mainly focusing on just Rust right now, because if I do focus too much on Entropia Universe, or I do some sort of like 50-50 split, it's going to make it very hard for the algorithm to figure out what niche I'm in, and then it'll recommend the videos across both of them, and click-through rate goes down, watch time goes down, and that is bad because then your videos get recommended less and you get less views. That's actually like, I've got two very different... It probably wasn't the best idea for me to just push everything onto this channel, but it is what it is, and I've always tried to be like, ooh, nice, 74.9 PEDs of shrapnel. I think now we are in the money, as I'd say in the casino game. 151 PDs. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, 151 PDs, not bad. And we've got a few Easter strong boxes here. I'm not sure how much they go for, but I think like maybe like 5 or something PDs. I don't know how much the Mayhem tokens go for either, but like, all right. So we've got a little bit of profit now. I think we're about 25 PDs up. So not bad, not bad. I think that was just a global though, right? We're not talking about a HOF. Globals, yeah. Just want to make sure, what would it take to get a HOF, I guess. Let's see. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't know why Christmas music's playing. I just let the playlist go wild and it's taking me in a very weird direction. All right, so I need 500 PDs to get a HOF. I don't think that's going to be happening. But yeah, a global, that's always nice. That's good for the screenshots. But yeah, I don't know if anyone cares about algorithms, but if you do, what I just said was probably very interesting. And the reason you should trust me about that is because I get paid a lot of money to know what I'm doing with algorithms. I don't work at YouTube or anything like that. I don't work with anything super similar to that, but it's why. Oh, there we go. Sorry, the movement got very weird on me. But yeah, I'm paid a good bit of money to sort of know algorithms, and I can take a guess at how YouTube's doing things. Obviously, like there's certain things that you can't know, but I guess one of the important things to know about a lot of this stuff is they like to rely on stats and calculations that can be done before someone actually searches. So any calculation that has to be done during a search is very detrimental because it slows down your service. All right, hold on. I'm going to change this video here because something's going weird here. Oop. I see. We've gone through it all. Let me go back and change this here. Sorry about that. All right, let's actually shoot. I don't know if people like that music. We can just play it again. Why not? Yeah, I sort of thought it was nice to just have like a little bit of lo-fi music going in the background, just trying to make sure it's the copyright-free stuff. But yeah, algorithms, I tend to actually have like what I work with is more of like a search algorithm, so that's what I know better. And if you look when I do nowadays, especially when I do a video that I want to rank in search, it generally does. It's just most people go through recommended, so you can't really build a channel on that. But you know, a lot of my how-to guides do pretty decent. And that actually is one of the places where subscribers matters, because the more people that subscribe to you, the more likely they are to see your video when they go. That's a factor. So if someone subscribes to you, they're more likely to see your videos when they search for something. If you have a video that would be considered relevant, you get a little boost there. And that's why sometimes, like if you search for something very obscure, you might get videos that are not related whatsoever, but from people that you subscribe to. It's interesting how all that works, I think. I don't think so many other people find it interesting, but it's geeky information I'm dropping there. If we want, we can go into AI, because that's another thing. I don't know that much about large language models though, so I feel like I'm sort of out of my depth there. I work with them, but I don't. I'm not a designer. I don't work on training those algorithms. And the ones I work with are not as sophisticated as ChatGPT or anything like that. I mean, I've done a little bit of work with ChatGPT, but nothing that like most programmers haven't done, in my opinion. It'll be cool to see where that goes. I'm sure they could replicate. Ooh, 44 PDs, not bad. I'm sure they could replicate all this. That's what I should do. I should get ChatGPT to tell me how to play Entropia Universe so I can make money. Although the answer would probably be don't, because look, everything I've got here, I'm a free-to-play player, so I've never. That's one of my claims to fame. I've never deposited into Entropia Universe, but I've way after I was like playing decently successful in Entropia Universe, I actually did do a sponsorship deal with Mindark, so I don't know if I count as free to play anymore because of that, in my opinion. Some people would say I still am. In my opinion, probably not, because you could say like in lieu of a payment, oh, thanks for the follow, by the way, Nikon Bowl. I think I'm doing it right. But yeah, just because of that, I'd say I'm not a official free-to-play player, because I did get some money from Mindark that they gave to me to make a video with, and that money goes into my account, and like, yeah, that was like real life work that I did to get it. It was work that I did outside of Entropia Universe, but most of my PEDs were made through trading and then buying deeds, and then deeds just skyrocketed in value, so you just can't lose with that, right? You know, if you figure most of the CLDs that I had, I paid 1,000 PEDs for. This was before they were split, and now they're worth, well, when they split, they were worth about 3,000. I guess now the value is like 3,700 or something like that, crazy. So like take 1,000 PEDs, yeah, 3.7x it. But you know, even if you didn't have that much to put in, which I didn't, your account value is just gonna skyrocket with time because of that. So I got very lucky. There. All the other stuff that I thought would go up in value did not, by the way. Like, one of my big things used to be clothing. I was like, unique clothing in Entropia Universe. It's never going to be looted again. It's super valuable. Paid about 200 PDs for this. It's worth 89. Let's see, these pants right here I paid 500 PDs for. They're worth 70. We could keep going, but you get the picture. A lot of the stuff I paid for is no longer valuable whatsoever. So a lot of that stuff I got wrong. I just got very lucky in the fact that deeds were one of the things I thought could do good, and CLDs were the ones that I really went all in on. With everything else, I just sort of went in on. So I do have some, I don't know if I have them anymore. I did have some compat deeds, got the underground, got the moon, got everything. It's just I didn't have as many PDs to put in, so I didn't get as much of those. CLDs, it was basically just everything I had, liquidated the account, put it all into it, and let it sit. So I think right now I'm sitting at 2.1 thousand CLDs. Let's see, where we at? Yeah, 2.139. And then you can see I've got, what, 300 Treasure Island deeds, 77 Crystal Palace, and 10 Ancient Greece deeds. These even worth any? Oh, they're still... Actually, those held their value pretty good. Impressed. But yeah, that was my claim to fame, I guess. The fact that I did all that as a free-to-play player. But I put a lot of time into it. And I could not do it again, because when I was trading, when I was making money doing that, you've got to remember I was, I'm taking advantage of the fact that it's a lot harder for people to communicate. There weren't trade channels like there are now. So it took time to find buyers. And for sellers, a lot of them just wanted to go to one person to sell everything. It took time to find one person that you could do that for. Crafters, they wanted one person they could buy everything from. Took them time to find that. If you could make the connection, you could be the middleman, pull out a couple percent. Market value didn't exist back then. So a lot of the time, I didn't think it at the time, but a lot of the time, maybe these people wouldn't have sold to me if they could have looked and said, okay, the average value for the week is 103, right? Because I'd see 103 and I'll say, I'm going to offer you 102, maybe 101.5% for that. So I make about 2%. And you've got to remember, I'm giving the crafter a deal too. So in reality, if I'm paying you 2% under like the market average, I'm probably selling it to the crafter for a little bit under market average. So I'm making about 1 to 1.5%, which I think that's fair, because you're coming to me and I'm getting rid of all your stuff without you having to worry about auction fees. Oops. No, come on, let me back in the combat area. Without you having to worry about auction deeds or anything like that. A lot of people still think traders are complete like shit, and there's a lot of people who really hate me for the fact that I'm like openly, I was a trader. But I felt like I was offering, like I felt like I was extracting a fair amount of value for the service that I provided. Because there were a lot of players that they wanted a player who they could reliably go to at a certain time and just trade everything to. And that was me. Because I was on a lot, right? Like I'd be on for a couple hours a day. And I tell people like, hey, this is the time that I'm on. And usually that was the time that I was always on. And you know, if they can count on me being on, it was nice because they just have someone that they could dump everything to. So yeah, loot is pretty good, I'd say. Just because that global, that really cleared things up for us. If it wasn't for that global, I don't think I'd be super profitable. And I still might come under, to be honest. Because we're looking, what, 70 PDs we got there. What do we have here? About 100. So we got 170. I'm burning through this amp, too. And, like, the armor, it might not be as good as I'm thinking. Oop, what happened there? I keep hitting the wrong key because I'm not paying attention. Let's go. Boom. I'd like to get one more global. If I get one more global, or if I can get a Hoff, then I'm done. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people blown up off these mobs. Like, a lot of people, if you look at the Hoff list, there's a lot of people that are sitting there because of, like, annihilation mobs. Look at this. It's just annihilation, 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 annihilation. I mean, they're a lot higher level than the ones I'm killing. This guy's just, yeah, God. They're just, I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, a lot of people are just, you know, really killing it with those annihilation mobs. So I was hoping maybe I could have a little bit of luck, but I think I'm going too low level. That said, though, this low level is very easy because now I can sit here and talk and not have to worry about health and everything like that. Maybe I could have done a level 4. I don't think I could have gotten too much higher. It seems like 5, 6, 7, so that's where a lot of the good loot is. If you're looking for that content, I believe you could go to someone like Lore Spade and see it. I was sad to see, too. I don't know who, if anyone doesn't know, Scotty_C93. He left the YouTube game recently, but he is really good in Entropia Universe content. I was sad to see him go, but yeah, he was one of the people that I'd actually like listen to. Just not every video, but a lot, to just sort of see what's going on with Entropia Universe. Same with the Lore Spade, though. Those are two golden ones in my opinion. Julian McBain was another one. It's sad, though. A lot of the people that I was like looking to for Entropia Universe content have disappeared. I guess me and Lore Spade still does it somewhat regularly, but he does a lot more like Fallout stuff. I've gone to Rust, but let's be honest, I'm not that narcissistic that I sit there and listen to myself. Every now and then I do it just for like a mic check and to make sure I'm not saying or just, you know, making too bad of a content. But I tend not to listen to myself for updates because it tends to be stuff that I know. Oops, there we go. But yeah, like Lore Spade's good, but I think he's like the last one left. There's not many people making Entropia Universe content anymore. What does this progress bar mean? Destroy Easter robots. Is this when I'm done? I don't know. Maybe I'll get to this thing being like full and then I'll call it. I think that might be the way to go. Welcome to all the people who've jumped in, by the way. I appreciate that. I know, like, I see the numbers like going up and down, which means like new people are coming in. So that's good. I do appreciate that. If people are wondering anything about me, anything about the gameplay, the exciting gameplay that you see in front of them, just let me know. You know, one of the reasons that streaming is so great for content is because if you don't have anything to say as a content creator, you can go on a stream and see if people can sort of spark some good stuff inside of you. Which we've had some really good conversation, I think, so far. So I appreciate that. What do people think about Kick? I know that's like really popped off recently. So that was one of the things I'm like, should I like when I did this, I was like, should I just stream it on Kick? And I'm like, nah, I don't have the time to create an account or anything like that. But I was like, it's tempting just to see how it goes. But I feel like that's one of those streaming platforms that's not gonna make it. You know, I mean, I don't know. Firedog streams Entropia Universe and does pretty good explaining it too. See, so that's the thing. It's not. Oh, thanks for commenting, by the way. Streams I don't tend to watch as much. I like to watch more of the like condensed videos, I guess. You know, ironic that I'm streaming right now and saying that, but usually I like to watch like more of the condensed stuff. So like, yeah, I'll check it out though. Fire Debug. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, the Entropia Universe streaming I've never really looked at. Usually it's just YouTube, whatever's like there is what I watch. But that's, you know, I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. I was like, I don't know why I do it. The reason I don't watch Twitch anymore is because of ads. I just hate the fact that I've got to watch like 3 minutes of ads to get into any video. It's ridiculous. On my account, I wish there's a way I can turn it off, but people still get ads. I don't get any money from it, or maybe I do. I don't know. I never set it up so I never set Twitch up correctly. Any money that's given to me through Twitch just goes into like a black hole. I don't know what happens to it. It gets donated or who knows. I'm not actually donating it. Don't think I don't. That is a shitty thing that I said. I'm not. The money just sits in Twitch's bank account, and at some point I'll set it up and it'll go to me. The money does not get donated. I don't want to say that and not be doing it. That'd be wrong of me. Just to make that clear. Sorry about that. But no, like the money just like goes there and just sits there. Like I never get it. Like I don't bother. So I'd be happy to disable ads on Twitch, but I can't do it. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't do it, just because they throw all those ads in front of you before you jump into a streamer. And like a lot of the time, like for Entropia Universe, maybe I'm looking for just something to listen to in the background, but if I've got to watch it like ads before it comes on, then I don't know. I just don't like that experience. So I end up on YouTube, and there's not much streaming, I think, of anything really going on YouTube, or at least not much that I see. Maybe I've got to look into that. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. But yeah, I don't know why Twitch did these like ads in front of a video before you jump into it. Because look, if it's someone that I've watched before, someone that I know, or like a big streamer, I sort of know their content's good. But every now and like with these small streamers like myself or something, like you'll jump into a stream and it'll literally just be you're looking at a chair, right? And it's like, I don't want that. Or even with Entropia Universe, the problem I used to have with Entropia Universe was I'd go into these streams and it would just be someone playing music and they're crafting. And it's like, you're not even there. I'm just watching someone waste. I mean, you're just watching someone spend money. And if I wanted to do that, there's a casino I could go to, right? Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for commentary. I'm looking for dialogue. I'm looking for like background noise, basically. And you know, maybe some people are all about that, but that just wasn't what I wanted. And the fact that you got to watch ads before jumping into it happened a couple times in a row. I just got sort of annoyed, and that was that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to check it out though. Like Fire Debug, nothing against them. I've never even watched their stream, but I will check it out now. I will. Maybe if they're, I don't know who's going right now. I've got to figure out how to do like a raid or something so I can actually pass these 12 subscribers off to maybe someone else doing Entropia Universe content when this is over, so that they can get a little bit more of a boost. I don't think it'll do anything just because the Twitch algorithm won't like push them up or anything like that, but it'd be nice. I guess if Entropia got enough content, it would like push Entropia as a game up, and then you'd see more people gravitating towards the game, and that would be interesting. But that would take a miracle. If Asmongold's streaming, someone can go over there and donate money for him to talk about Entropia, and nah, it would work. That would actually probably work, to be honest, but I'm teasing. Like that's actually a really good strategy. If you're looking to grow on Twitch, this is a strategy that would actually work. Go into a small niche game. If you can become the top streamer in that game, and then you get a content creator to talk about that game, a big one, you will get some blow over from that. So like with Entropia Universe, right? If you're the number one being streamed for Entropia Universe, and you get XQC, Asmongold, Ludwig, any of these big streamers on Twitch, I guess, to talk about it, you will get some people that will jump over to you because of that. Because of the ads and stuff like that, it won't be that many. Because initially when it happened to me with XQC, I got it because there just weren't, I don't think there were pre-rolls playing. So people could just jump between streamers. So they just jumped over to see what this game was all about. And then suddenly you've got, 300 people, and you're like, hey, what's up, guys? Let me tell you about Entropia Universe and how it works. And that was an awesome experience. But and I've talked about it a few times now. But yeah, like that would be an interesting thing that you could do if you're looking to blow up on Twitch, I guess. It's a strategy you don't see many people using, but I think it would work. Yeah, I'm looking at the names that are playing Entropia right now. None of them I really remember. Oh, what are you offering? How you want to offer promotion to my channel? I really don't do bots. Sorry. Now I've got to figure out how to. Is there a way I can delete this message? Mods. Mods. Oh boy. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do, folks. Everybody ignore that message. Sorry, Divers Satira, if you're an actual person. Nothing against you, but no, you're a bot. 100% this is a bot. They would not type go to whatever, blah blah blah. 100% a bot. 100% a bot. I'm not apologizing. Not apologizing whatsoever. Man, I wish I could delete that, but I really don't know how, and I'm not going to bother. But yeah, I think we're going to call it right here because we've flipped the progress there. I did not end up getting that global, which is disappointing, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. For those of you who are here, let's... thanks for jumping in, Lightning. Have a good... if your break's over, have a good work day, I guess. I mean, that's hard to do, but I do appreciate the fact that you jumped in. Thank you. Thank you. I'm probably ending it here anyway, so you're not going to end up missing anything. Unless we can get a global. We didn't get global. All right. So I think what we're going to do is just pull this codex. You guys can decide. I got one global. Yes, that's true. That's true. So you guys can decide what I should claim here. I don't know if anyone cares, but if you've got any recommendations here, I'm all ears. Weapons, handling, short blade, rifle, power fist, long blades, light melee, laser weapon, heavy melee weapon, handgun, dexterity, combat reflexes, BLP, athletics, anatomy, or aim. You all pick. Whoever comments first, that's just what I'm going to go with. And if no one comments, that's okay. Anatomy? Okay. I'll go with that. Boom. 5 anatomy skills. All right, what's the next one? Ooh. Aim, anatomy, athletics, BLP, combat, dexterity, handgun, heavy, laser, light, long blades, power fist, rifle, short blades, weapon handling. We want to do an anatomy again, or any other suggestions? I really don't care. Just throw out whatever you think I should click on, and I'll click on it. Or I'm going to pick something ridiculous for myself, like power fist. Athletics? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Boom. Ooh, that was a good one. 110 athletic skills. All right. Now we got an interesting one. Clubs, courage, cryogenics, diagnostics, electrokinesis, inflict melee, inflict range, melee. I am getting stronger, yeah. Melee combat, perception, plasma, or pyrokinesis. So back in the day, I used to... Oh, 11 PDs. That's not bad. So yeah, recommend what I should get here. I'll take it. But yeah, back in the day, you always go with perception because that was really big in mining. If you got perception, that was like, you sort of knew there was good loot around. People thought it played into the loot. It doesn't anymore. So you say courage, let's go courage. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, 57 courage. And that's that. You have skilled my account. I think, what, 175-ish points. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for keeping me company on this run. I think we're going to be calling it here. I'm going to do sort of the totals. We're going to see if we ended up plus or minus. One last kill. This is going to be the Hoff because that is how it works. I'm calling it right now. 100% guaranteed. Hype it up. $95 PECs. Ouch. All right. So let's just total everything up and then we'll call it. Stick around, though, because I will transfer you to someone else. I don't know if that does anything, but yeah. So we've got 47 PDs burned here. Let's throw all the armor in. That is not counting. What else is there? That's junk. No. Okay, I think... Oh, there's some vigilante in there, but looks like there's not much to count it, so whatever. So basically, we're doing some quick math. 125. Let's say about 210 PEDs is what we spent in total on this run with repairs and everything like that. So now in loot, where are we at? Let's check this out. So you get 25 PDs of ammo, let's say. So let's see. Let's say we probably need about 100, like something like 175 PDs just to break even here. Ooh, actually, you know what? 155. It's all going to depend on these strong boxes. But if we look at this, I've got 6 strong boxes. I think that's about maybe like 20 to 30 PDs worth. And you know what that is? Let's break even. So I think honestly we did this run and we broke even. We got a lot of skills. We had some fun. So yeah, I'd say this was a very good run. Also, for those of you who think I'm going to sell this, I won't. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And now I'm going to try and figure out how I can do this whole raid thing. Does anybody know how that works? Because I would appreciate if someone could guide me through this. I'm basically a boomer. I think there's a way to raid. There should be. So do I just go to the channel and do it? You guys are gonna get to listen to this for a little bit. I don't think anyone wants to though, so I'm gonna lose people. It's nerve-wracking. Just give up. No, we're not giving up. We're not gonna give up. We're gonna just raid something. I probably will give up actually. Every channel's like, I used to be able to do that. I literally managed to successfully do this once. But it does not seem like... Oh, here we go. Raid. Allow raids. Oh. I see how this is. Okay. So there's like a bunch of like... I don't know. There's a bunch of things that people have to enable to allow raids. And like... Allow raids of channels that meet the following requirements. And blah, blah, blah. And yeah. I'm going to end up giving up. You are completely right. So thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. Until next time.